On October 20th, 2025, AWS, the cloud services backbone used by countless apps, websites, and organizations worldwide, experienced a significant disruption. The impact was broad and immediate. From gaming apps and streaming services to banking systems and government portals, many found themselves offline or sluggish. AWS reported increased error rates and latencies for multiple services in its U.S. East 1 region, Virginia, USA. The disruption appeared to begin at around 3:11 a.m. Eastern Time, around 8:11 British Summer Time, according to reports. Hundreds or more companies and services, some reports say over 1,000, were impacted globally. Affected services included major apps like Snapchat, Fortnite, Signal, Duolingo, as well as Amazon's own retail, Alexa, and Ring offerings. In the UK, government and banking systems were affected, e.g., HM Revenue and Customs' website. Major banks and telecoms reported interruptions. By mid-morning UK time, AWS confirmed significant signs of recovery and that global services depending on the U.S. East 1 region were recovering. Why this is a big deal to cloud is no longer invisible. Today, much of modern life happens via the cloud. Apps, streaming, banking, shopping, all depend on services like AWS behind the scenes. When AWS hiccups, a lot of things go offline, even if you don't realize they're hosted there. Single point weaknesses. The outage underscored a major vulnerability. When one major cloud provider or region fails, the impact is global. Experts say the incident highlights the risks of relying heavily on a handful of infrastructure providers. Knock-on effects. Even a short outage can trigger cascading failures. Businesses face lost sales, failed transactions, and damage to customer trust. Apps and services either stopped working or became severely degraded for users. In sectors like finance and government, where uptime is critical, the disruption may have been especially costly. While AWS has not publicly confirmed every technical detail, multiple reports point to the trouble origin. A DNS/database, DynamoDB, related issue in the U.S. East 1 region. Because so many services rely on that region or its infrastructure, the fault propagated quickly and broadly. Systematic error or latency in launching new instances, virtual servers, was among the control plane challenges. In short, a critical control layer in the cloud infrastructure failed or got bogged down, and because so many services depend on it, the failure cascaded. Broader implications and lessons diversify your infrastructure. For businesses, relying on a single cloud provider or region can be risky. Multi-region and multi-provider architectures become more compelling. Business continuity and resilience matter. Even when the provider says we fixed it, delayed transactions, customer frustration, and reputational damage can linger. Firms must have plans for such disruptions. Infrastructure equals national infrastructure. When a cloud outage affects government portals, banking systems, and telecoms, it becomes part of broader national infrastructure risk management. The incident will likely prompt regulators and governments to ask more questions about digital resilience, transparency, and communication. In such large outages, users and businesses want quick, clear updates. What's working, what isn't, what's being done. The quicker the clarity, the less the speculative damage. What happens next? AWS will conduct a full postmortem, determine root causes, mitigation paths, and preventive steps. Businesses that were impacted will assess damage, lost revenue, system failures, customer impact. Governments and regulators may look at cloud dependence risk and whether critical services need stricter resilience standards. Cloud customers may review their architecture. Do they rely too heavily on one provider or one region? Final thoughts. This outage is a powerful reminder. Even though the internet feels always on, much of it rides on infrastructure that can, and sometimes does, fail. For users, the interruption may have been a nuisance. For businesses and governments, it's a wake-up call about digital risk.